What happens to Yaz, Chibnall? I just need to know. I just gotta know. Because have you ever had that nagging feeling that something awful has to happen to your favorite character to further the main arc of the main character, and then remember the lovely fact that this character is not only a person of color, but also queer? Yeah. Yasmin Khan is so doomed. First, let's have some context as to why I've been led to believe this, and what possible ways Chibnall could tie up Yaz's story. But first off, if you aren't caught up on Doctor Who, please leave. Right now. Get out of here. I'm about to spoil all of the 13th Doctor's run up to Legend of Sea Devils, and I am mad with power. I'll also be referring back to other companions' endings, so if you don't know, don't be a masochist. Go watch the show. Please. Now. Go. Bye. Okay, now let's drop some context. Every companion must leave the Doctor sometime, and in Modern Who, it's always a heartbreaking and or deadly affair. Especially after the companions admit they love the Doctor. I'm looking at you, Rose Tyler, River Song, Clara Oswald. And now I'm looking at you, Yaz. In Legend of the Sea Devils, Chibnall really sets up some upcoming devastation with the fact that 13 and Yaz can't go on forever. And then this new special is supposedly where 13 will die by the forces that mass against her, and their master. So, Chibnall, what happens to Yaz? As far as I can tell, there are only 3 possible endings for Yaz. Death, abandonment, or moving on from the Doctor. Though Chibnall knows this and is likely going to subvert expectations like he did with Jack Harkness not actually dying in the Revolution of the Daleks, because he's a showrunner and he knows what's best, and will break most of my hearts nonetheless. Thanks, Chibs. Love you, man. Now, the first option is the most likely and neatest ending for Yaz would be for her to die. I hate to say that because of the bury your gaze trope, but based on how similarly she's following Clara's arc, her dialogue cues showing that she won't leave the Doctor of her own accord, and how she's shown in the Power of the Doctor trailer, she dead. She's been set up to die very similar to the setup for Clara's death. Throughout Clara's travels with the 12th Doctor, Clara starts to turn a bit more doctory. She seeks out dangerous thrills, she outclevers her enemies, and she almost sacrifices people's lives. Or maybe she does. It's been a year since I've seen that. Anyways, this begins in Series 8's first episode as she interrogates the humanoid droids with her life on the line. Then ramps up as she actually impersonates the Doctor's pragmatism in Series 8 Flatliners, till she tries so hard to be the Doctor throughout Series 9 that it all culminates to her death in Face the Raven. Sound familiar, Yaz? I mean, it's not like you to take on the mantle of being the Doctor when she's not around, right? For instance, in Season 12's first and second episodes, wasn't it Ryan who noticed how similar you carry yourself to the Doctor when confronting antagonists like Mr. Barton? And weren't you the one who stepped up with a plan to keep the fam safe during Spyfall 2? And in Series 12 Praxis, you were the only one who took the initiative by requesting an hour away from the Doctor to investigate those creatures, risk your life to follow them to the lair, only to have the Doctor be surprised by you going off on your own and not getting killed. Then in the penultimate and finale episodes of Series 12, the 13th Doctor realizes how reckless she's been with you, and she sends you away for your own safety, yet you're the one who leads the effort to stop her from being as equally reckless? You're also the one who plans to get the Doctor back in Revolution of the Daleks. You're also the one who writes, what would the Doctor do on your hand during Flux, which leads to you to attempt a repair of Atropos to meet the villain Swarm and Azure, and eventually makes you lead the effort with your new fam to stop the Ravagers after you time travel back to 1901. Then, to really sell it, you step on the Doctor's toes when confronting the Sea Devils by giving away vital information and inflicting others with the Doctor's outrage of injustice. Time and time again, Yaz. You don't do things by halves, and you risk your life to save the Doctor. Plus, your dialogue shows you never want to leave the Doctor. And then, in the Centenary trailer, you're briefly shown holding a gun? Which you'd never do unless your life was on the line. Which it could very well be, given that you're going to be fighting the Cybermen, the Master, the Daleks. And then the trailer ends with 13th Doctor screaming your name. What am I supposed to believe, Chibnall? What am I supposed to see here? Anyways, another option for Yaz's ending is 13 abandoning her. Again, dialogue is key here, as well as foil characters in Flux in the Centenary trailer. This option is highly likely, but because of that status, also unlikely. Let me explain. One of the ways Chibnall, Moffat, and even Russell T Davies broke their audience's heart was by making the Doctor abandon the ones they loved to save them, like with Rose, Donna, and Amy. Chibnall has been threading this theme of abandonment for quite some time, with a fan being abandoned in Spyfall, The Timeless Children, and then Yaz being abandoned for a couple of years in Flux. The fallout of that abandonment led to Yaz's realization in Revolution of the Daleks that, one day, the Doctor will abandon her. And after that conversation, the 13th Doctor is adamant about promising to come back for Yaz, regardless if Yaz vanishes in the War of Sontarans, or is time traveled back to the past in Village of the Angels. It even becomes such a sore spot that the 13th Doctor apologizes for it in Eve of the Daleks after Yaz begs her to stop leaving us all the time. After all that setup of trauma, does Chibnall really seem like the kind of man to just step away and not twist the knife in a little deeper? He even sets up the foil characters of Bella and Vinder, who are searching for each other throughout the fallout of Flux. Just like, yeah, you guessed it, Yaz and the 13th Doctor. He also adds in Carvanista, an old companion, and then Ace and Tegan in the Centenary trailer, to layer on how the Doctor may have been forced to abandon Yaz for her own safety. Must we listen to the 13th Doctor scream her name in concern again? Yes, we must. I am in pain. Alright, the third and final and least likely option is that Yaz moves on with her life and turns her back on traveling with the 13th Doctor. It has to be Yaz's decision, though, because she can get quite obsessed with saving the Doctor if you take Revolution of the Daleks and the Flux finale episodes into account. Here's why this is very unlikely, though. In all of her dialogue, she always consents to being with the Doctor, even to the endangerment of her own person and personality. She does this in Series 12's Arachnids of the UK, and in its finale episode, and then also in Series 12's last 3 episodes, and another confirmation in Revolution of the Daleks and Eve of the Daleks. So something really big has to happen to tear Yaz away, especially after she's confirmed feelings with the Doctor in Legend of the Sea Devils. I mean, Martha Jones only left the Doctor after she realized how hopeless it was to pine after him, and how hopeful her own life could be, and was. This may be a good time to incorporate Yaz's mental health story, which has been threaded in Series 11 Witchfinders and Series 12's Can You Hear Me episodes. But how, Chibnall? She didn't particularly enjoy being a police officer because she couldn't do the important work that she's able to do with the Doctor. But hey, maybe that all changes somehow. Maybe her family brings her back, or the Master does some timey-wimey effed up stuff. I don't know. The only reason I am considering this being an option is because of what Mandip Gill, the actor who portrays Yaz, has actually kind of confirmed, kind of, as much as you can in, talking about previews of stuff that no one has seen, and you can't really reveal anything. But you can! She reveals things. She reveals that this is the last episode for her character. But for now, if anyone could write this ending, which leaves her story finished but open-ended enough to bring her back in the future, it's Chibnall. It's him. Okay, he can do it. But whatever he decides, I will still be heartbroken. And even after doing all of this logical thinking. Speaking of, what do you think will happen to Yaz? Please let me know in the comments below. And also, be kind. Just be kind in the comments, you know? Thanks. Thanks for listening. Alright. Yeah, bye.